YouTube, this is Vargas, recording live from the Vargas Vault. Back again with another Tales from the Vargas Vault, or collection video. Which, the whole point of the Tales from the Vargas Vault is to showcase parts of the collection. So, I just got finished recording a belt collection, my WWE, Jakks Pacific, and Mattel collection. Just championship gold looks good on everyone. I have not seen one person, except Jinder Mahal, that doesn't look cool in championship gold. It's just the way it is. You carry gold, you automatically become a badass. Except Jinder Mahal. Not Jinder Mahal. Since I'm already in the wrestling mood, I decided to share one more wrestling video with you guys. And that's my not complete WrestleMania collection. I'm still working on it. There's 33 WrestleManias, and I probably own about half of it. Probably. But I wanted to share with you guys, so I hope you enjoy. So first off, I know they're on VHS, but I don't have a VHS player, so getting the older 80s stuff is kind of hard. And ever since the network release, I was hoping that with the release of the network and them having everything available digitally, that people would start getting rid of their wrestling DVDs, and that's when I would be able to get all the wrestling events that I wanted. But that's not been the case. Actually, I haven't seen them drop in price at all online. They've kept their very, very high prices, and I've not been lucky enough to find them in flea markets. It's very rare when I come across a wrestling DVD at the flea markets or through Movie Free Bazaar, which is the online seller that I buy my stuff. And I don't have the disposable income to buy them new when they come out at Walmart. And one of the sets that I kick myself for not getting when I had the chance are these beautiful WrestleMania Anthologies. I was only able to nab Volume 1 of the WrestleMania Anthology. I got this on sale, and I should have gotten the second one. But this one has WrestleMania 1 through 5. WrestleMania in 1985 to WrestleMania 5 in 1989. Of course, the very first WrestleMania had Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. Then they had, it was Hulk Hogan, and had Mr. T and Roddy Piper, a great heel, and it was really cool. It was a really cool event. Then they had WrestleMania 2. That one was kind of iffy. WrestleMania 3, of course, is remembered because, if memory serves me right, WrestleMania 3 is remembered for two things. The Macho Man, Ricky Dragon Steamboat Intercontinental match, and Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, where Hulk Hogan slammed the Giant. Even though it's not as commonly known as far as I know, a Mexican wrestler did that first, but it doesn't get talked about but it was still very, very cool. It's still to this day very cool. I was watching that one on a DVD a while ago, and it's still amazing to see Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant. That was pretty cool. Then in WrestleMania 4, they had the tournament for the championship. Hulk Hogan was a championship. He fought Andre the Giant, but some iffy stuff happened at a Saturday Night's Main Event. I actually saw that one when there were two identical referees, and Ted DiBiase paid one of them to give the victory to Andre the Giant. And but of course it was a huge scam, and they stripped Andre the Giant of the title, and then they did this whole tournament, which Macho Man won in WrestleMania 4. So that was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome to see Macho Man finally get the Winged Eagle belt. Then in WrestleMania 5, Macho Man turned heel, and the Mega Powers imploded, and Hulk Hogan fought Macho Man for the championship, and that was pretty cool. This box set has those 5 WrestleManias, and that was pretty cool. I wish I would have gotten Volume 2, because that one has WrestleMania 6 to WrestleMania 10. And WrestleMania 6 is the one where Hulk Hogan put up his Winged Eagle Championship against the Ultimate Warrior's Intercontinental Championship. So it was champion against champion, and whoever won would own both championships. So I thought that was pretty cool as a kid, seeing Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior clash. So I to this day I still kick myself. I bought this at Walmart, and to this day I still kick myself for not buying the second volume of the anthology, because this box set is pretty and has the complete event. So I don't have any WrestleMania up to WrestleMania 19. So I'm missing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 13 WrestleManias I'm missing, and I don't see how I'm ever going to find them unless I'm super lucky and come across them at the flea market or find them cheap. But I do wish I could own those WrestleManias. But I have WrestleMania 19, which of course the stellar match is Hulk Hogan versus Mr. McMahon in 2003. This was another really hype match. I was really hyped to see this. And it didn't disappoint. It was actually pretty cool. It also has the WWE Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. The one where Brock Lesnar almost broke his neck when he tried to do a flip move on Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle was also wrestling with a bum neck, so props to Kurt Angle for plowing through that. It also had Austin versus The Rock 3. So that was pretty cool. This was a really solid WrestleMania. I really liked this one. Also had a really cool match between Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. That was a lot of fun. So it was a really good WrestleMania. Really happy with that. Then the second one, this was a gift from my brother, and it's the only bootleg WrestleMania I have. But my brother knew that I wanted this, and he got me WrestleMania 20. But again, this is bootleg. I have not been able to find the original version of this, which came. I think it came in like a steel book. But this one was pretty cool. It had not all the matches were gold, but the two matches that were the Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship, and it had the triple threat match between Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Chris Benoit for the big gold belt. That match was really cool, and I've said this before. It's a shame that Eddie Guerrero passed away, and it's a shame that Chris Benoit went out the way that he did, because he is now officially erased completely from WWE. They will not acknowledge or mention him. And that's a shame, because his triple threat match here was really cool. Then I have the WrestleMania 21 DVD. I don't remember if it's in 20... Yeah, it was in 21. Was it 21? Yeah, it was in 21 where they started including the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies in the DVDs and the Blu-rays. This is in 2005, WrestleMania 21. This one had Triple H versus Batista. It had JBL versus John Cena, which John Cena won, and then he, released the... sorry, I was pointing to this. He won the spinner belt. He created the spinner belt after this WrestleMania. Then what was a good one here? Oh, they had a really good match here. Shawn Michaels again. Shawn Michaels with Kurt Angle. Really good match. That was fun. So that was pretty cool. Then they had another cool match with Randy Orton, who was going through his Legend Killer. So it was Undertaker versus the Legend Killer Randy Orton. And I'm not sure, but it might have... Was it? Yeah. My memories are all mixed up sometimes from all these WrestleManias, but unless I'm wrong, someone correct me, but I'm pretty sure that this is the first Money in the Bank ladder match. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So this was a big because of that. Then we have WrestleMania 22. Not so cool of a card. It had for the World Tag Team Championship, it had Big Show and Kane versus Carlito and Chris Masters. Another Money in the Bank. It had a good match here with Mick Foley and Edge. They did a hardcore match. That one was pretty cool. Kind of a dud match between The Undertaker and Mark Henry. No holds barred match between Shawn Michaels and Mr. McMahon. A very short triple threat match for the big gold belt between Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton. And then they had John Cena versus Triple H. So it was a weird card, but the Edge versus Mick Foley match was really cool. Then we have WrestleMania 23. And this one had a hair versus hair match between Vince McMahon and Donald Trump. Donald Trump had selected Bobby Lashley. Vince McMahon selected Umaga. Guest referee Stone Cold Steve Austin. And the loser would get his head shaved. So yeah, it was a hype, but honestly I didn't think that Trump was going to get his head shaved, so kind of knew that McMahon was going to take the cut there. Then they had a really cool match between Batista and The Undertaker, and a really cool match between John Cena and Shawn Michaels. And another Money in the Bank match. So yeah, this was interesting. Then about a Blu-ray, because that's where I found this, WrestleMania 24. This one had the Big Show against Mayweather, which was a ridiculous show, but it's there. Had another Money in the Bank. Had the retirement match between Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Vince McMahon had put Ric Flair into this gauntlet, where if he lost one match, he would have to retire. He would be forced to retire. And in this WrestleMania, he fought Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels is the guy that retired Ric Flair from WWE. Also had a triple threat match between Randy Orton, Triple H, and John Cena. And the big gold belt between Edge and The Undertaker. And this one that match was pretty cool too. But The Undertaker was putting good matches for a long time. Then we have WrestleMania 25. It says the 25th anniversary, but it's not the 25th anniversary. It would be the 24th anniversary. But this one was, they went all out with this one. This one was pretty cool. It had Triple H the Triple H versus Randy Orton match was kind of a dud, because they made it they should have made it a no holds barred match, but the stipulation was that if Triple H goes too overboard, then he would lose the title, so they kind of knew that. Then for the big gold belt, it was Edge in a triple threat with John Cena and The Big Show. And then the stellar match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. They fought here, and it was an amazing match. The whole event was saved because of The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels match. That match was freaking amazing. Then we have WrestleMania 26 with Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels 2, The Streak versus The Career. If The Undertaker lost, of course, the streak would be broken. The streak is that Undertaker hadn't lost a single match in WrestleMania, so it got to the point where it was a big deal. So a lot of guys would start gunning for the streak. That I'm going to break the streak, and I'm going to make you 12-0 and 12-1 and something like that. So it was starting to get turning into a big deal, the streak. So they had the stellar match. Unfortunately, it seems like Undertaker got hurt really early into the match, so it wasn't as cool as the 25th WrestleMania, but it was still pretty cool. And of course, Undertaker retired Shawn Michaels here. It also had a really nice match between John Cena and Batista for the WWE Championship. The World Championship was between Chris Jericho and Edge. The WWE Championships, the WWE Championship was Batista and John Cena. The big gold belt was Edge and Jericho. And they had a dud match between Bret Hart and Mr. McMahon. That kind of sucked real bad. So this one's not as cool. Then I'm missing WrestleMania 27, which is not that bad because that WrestleMania wasn't that good. But I still want to have it because for the collection. But that one's not. That one wasn't so good. Then WrestleMania 28, I do want to get because that's the once in a lifetime match between John Cena and The Rock, and it also had the end of an era match between Triple H. I'm pretty sure it was in that one. Triple H and The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee. That would have been really, really cool. Was that in this one? Yes, it was in that one. So WrestleMania 28, I want to get that one. Then we jump all the way to WrestleMania 29. So their once in a lifetime stuff between The Rock and John Cena was lies. They rematched in WrestleMania 29. Not as good as the first one, but rarely things are when they try to repeat. You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. It rarely goes that the rematch is as good as the first one, like the Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker one. That the first one was amazing, the second one not so much. So, but it had them fighting off again. Then you had the Undertaker. I think, to this day, I still think that the end of an era match should have, the Undertaker should have retired after that. It was called end of an era match, so you would think that would signify that the Undertaker was going to retire. He didn't. He still went on and on and on. And he fought CM Punk in a dud match. CM Punk is a great wrestler, but this Undertaker match was not that good. So you had the WWE Championship disputed with John Cena and The Rock. The big gold belt was between Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. And a no holds barred match between Triple H and Brock Lesnar. So yeah, you had that. So this one not that good, but yeah. But then we go to WrestleMania 30, another anniversary one, and then they pulled out all the stops in this one. The underdog was Daniel Bryan. No one thought that Daniel Bryan was going to win. He got set up in a match with Triple H, and Triple H just was basically there to hurt Daniel Bryan, and hurt him he did. But if he won that match, he would be included in a triple threat match with Batista and Randy Orton for the Undisputed Championship. So not a lot of people hoped that Daniel Bryan would win, but the odds were stacked against him. But he won. He won the title. He was actually able to win the title, and he got the biggest ovation I've seen in a WrestleMania. I think it was bigger than when Hogan fought The Rock in WrestleMania 18. Because that match got a big pop, but Daniel Bryan, Chris Benoit also got a very big pop when he won. But I still think that this one beats both of those. When Daniel Bryan won the championship, that was amazing. It must have been crazy to be there live. So that was pretty cool. Then they had Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, and this is the one that broke the streak. I remember I was talking to a couple of friends and my brothers, and we were like, it's a threat. Brock Lesnar is a threat, but they've already wrestled, and Brock Lesnar won, but I don't think he's going to beat the streak. And then it happened. Brock Lesnar broke the streak, destroyed The Undertaker, and that was surprising that that happened. But yeah, and it also had a Andre the Giant match, Andre the Giant memorial match, and Cesaro, in an amazing feat of strength, picked up the Big Show, walked, and then threw him over the top rope. That was insane. 30-man Andre the Giant memorial battle royale. That was freaking amazing. And of course you had John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, which was kind of a dud. But yeah, this is the one where the streak got destroyed. And then we jumped to WrestleMania 31. This is WrestleMania 31. This one, not a lot of people were looking forward to this one. I'm a mark for wrestling, so I was looking forward to everything. But this one had Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. No one likes Roman Reigns. I don't know why. Then it had Triple H versus Sting. That one was really hyped, but also turned into a dud. And The Undertaker fought Bray Wyatt, but they didn't do anything with that. And I feel bad for Bray Wyatt because he has the potential, and he's shown that he's a talented guy, but WWE has just been pooping on his career for the longest time. He lost to The Undertaker. And I don't know why The Undertaker was there. I mean, after losing the streak, he should have retired there. But he kept going and fought against CM Punk and fought against Bray Wyatt. So, like, why? Just why? But, yeah, it was still a decent card, but not that good. Not as good as WrestleMania 30. Then we jumped to WrestleMania 32, and this one's interesting because they stopped numbering them. I don't know why. You would think that they would, be proud of the event that's been going on for 32 years. But this one's just called WrestleMania. No numbers like in this one. 31. This one, nothing. I don't know why. This one also was... I was hyped for it, but a lot of people didn't like this one because the main event was Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. And, of course, Roman Reigns won that, and everyone dumped on that match. Had Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, which was kind of a dud. Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. This one was pretty cool. The biggest thing that happened is that Shane O'Mac went up the Hell in a Cell and then jumped. The Undertaker got out of the way, and Shane McMahon just almost could have killed himself like that. So that was pretty cool, but it was kind of hard to see Shane O'Mac, because he came out with his kids, and his kids were in front row, and then seeing your dad maybe kill himself must have been a hard sit for them. But it also had a very, very cool triple threat match between Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. They were going to finally retire the Divas match and give the women wrestlers a new title, the WWE Women's Championship, going back to the way it was before the Divas thing. Because, the Women's Revolution really kicked in NXT, and these three women, plus Bayley, plus Ahsoka, have been doing some great work. So this was a good match. It had a couple of botches here and there, but it was a good match, and Charlotte won that one. So this is the highlight of this, followed by the Undertaker Shane McMahon match. That one was pretty cool. So this was a more solid WrestleMania, even though a lot of people hated the main event. And finally, we come to WrestleMania 33, which again, no numbering. I don't know why they stopped numbering these. This one was a very, very long event. This thing lasted a lot because it had all the events in the main card plus a couple of pre-show matches. So it lasted a lot. It was a hard sit. I actually saw this live, and it's from start to finish, and it got a moment where it was just tiring. I mean, they say you can't get enough of a good thing, and I agree with that. But wow, this thing just went on and on and on, and you got more bang for your buck, true, but wow, this was kind of a hard sit because it lasted so long. So I'm grateful that it lasted as long as it did, because it gave you hours and hours of wrestling, but at the same time, wow, it just lasted forever. But this one was a good one. I did like this one a lot. It had Seth Rollins versus Triple H. It had kind of a dud match, again, dumping on poor Bray Wyatt, but it had Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship from SmackDown. It had John Cena and Nikki Bella against Miz and Maurice. And John Cena won that and proposed to Nikki Bella. It had Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Goldberg had squashed Brock Lesnar every chance he got. And in this one, because they already wrestled in WrestleMania 20, and that was a dud match. So I wasn't looking forward to this as much. But it was okay. For what it was okay. Then you had an elimination match between Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Bayley. So whoever got pinned would get eliminated. That one was not as cool as the triple threat, but it was still okay. And then the Raw women's match, that one was not as good. It was just a clusterfuck. And it had the return of the Hardys. That was pretty cool. Didn't see that one coming. A lot of people after the fact said that they did see it coming. I didn't. I was like genuinely surprised when the Hardy Boys popped up and they won the Raw Tag Team Championships. That was pretty cool. That was a good moment. And of course, the big one is that the Undertaker fought Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns was getting, to this day he is hated. I still don't. I kind of get it because WWE has been pushing Roman Reigns down people's throats for a while now. Like, this is who we want you to cheer for. Cheer for him. Cheer for him. You will love Roman Reigns. And people are like, nope. We don't like him. But he gets way too much hate. It's the same thing that happened to Cena. Cena got way too much hate. And I don't get it. I don't get why so much hate. They're not heels. I mean, I can get if you hate a heel, but but at the same time, I kind of get it because people see them as corporate stooges. So I don't know. But Roman Reigns fought The Undertaker, and I watched the match, and Roman Reigns won the match, and I was like, that's weird. I get it, you want to put over Roman Reigns, but not like that. And then Roman Reigns was celebrating, and The Undertaker, they cut to The Undertaker, and he's in full garb, his hat, his trench coat. And I'm like, oh, no, not like this, because it's wrestling tradition that you leave your gear on the ring, and that signifies your retirement. And I'm like, no, not like this. And he goes ahead and he takes off his hat and his trench coat and leaves it at the middle of the ring, walks off, kisses his wife, who's Michelle McCool. I did not know that The Undertaker married Michelle McCool. But kisses him, breaking kayfabe, walks out, gives his raised hand signature, and you can see the emotion in his face, which is weird because The Undertaker is known for not, showing emotion. And then he descends back into the stage, pretty much signifying his retirement. So it is wrestling tradition that the old guard puts over the newer generation, and so that's, I guess, I don't know if he was forced to do it. I don't know if he did voluntarily to put over Roman Reigns, but this is The Undertaker's last match and his retirement match against Roman Reigns. So it's interesting that Ric Flair retired, Shawn Michaels retired Ric Flair, Undertaker retired Shawn Michaels, and then now Roman Reigns retired The Undertaker. But the Undertaker was the last wrestler from the old guard from during the Hogan days. Before him it was Shawn Michaels, but he was like the last remnant of that era, not counting McMahon. Because Triple H came in later, but Undertaker was there before Triple H, and now he's gone. And you can kind of feel that vacuum. But they have... that's the thing about WWE. They're hit or miss. Sometimes they do something brilliant, and then they drop the ball and then start doing stupid things. But you're a wrestling fan, same thing as if you're a comic book fan. You get desperate with writing decisions, And because again, wrestling isn't fake; it's scripted. I'll repeat that again. It's scripted. The storylines are scripted in advance. They have to take into account if someone gets damaged, because that's where the real risk. Every wrestling event has "don't try this at home" thing, because there are two people that do high risk maneuvers, putting their trust in someone else, and if something goes wrong, like what happened with Draws, you can end up being a quadriplegic and not be able to move. You can, like what happened in AAA wrestling in the last WrestleMania, the wrestler intentionally had another wrestler in a shoulder lock and dislocated her shoulder on purpose. That's even worse, but dislocated her shoulder, and so that wrestler is out for months and months and months. Probably won't be back, depending on how serious the dislocation is. So it's a sport. It's a high-risk sport. The wrestlers get legitimately injured. Sometimes it's career-ending. Sometimes they're out for months, losing their livelihood. People eat. They have to eat. Wrestling is not fake. It's scripted. And sometimes the scripting sucks, but there's a lot of work and effort that goes into wrestling, so that's why I defend wrestling the way I do. Both luchador wrestling and WWE wrestling, because it does take skill to do what they do. But yeah, the booking is all over the place, but I like wrestling. I like wrestling a lot. Sometimes, yes, again, much like in comic books, you might not agree with the storylines. Sometimes they do stupid storylines that just make no sense. But you go with the flow and hope that they'll find their way and be cool again. And sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But you get what you get, and just either give up and drop the whole thing that you love, or blow through it and hope for the best, and eventually the best will come back. But yeah, I like wrestling, and I don't share as much wrestling as I should. But I'm changing that. I'm changing stuff up on the channel. So I hope you are enjoying these wrestling topics. I might do one more wrestling related video. So I did my WrestleMania collection, but I have a couple more DVDs, specifically wrestler DVDs. There are these box sets that have a documentary on the wrestler and then their best matches. I don't have all the ones I would like, but I do have quite a few, so I might make a collection video out of that. But until then, let me know if you like these wrestling videos. I know these Vargas Vault videos tend to be kind of long, but it's because I like talking about the subjects that I talk about in them. So I hope you enjoy. So yeah, I might showcase one more, well, two. So I'm gonna do WWE, and then I'm gonna do luchador wrestling, because that doesn't get as much attention as I think it should. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So until I see you all again, this was Vargas from the Vargas Vault, thanking you all as always, and signing out.